Hello lovely bookworms, I'm Esmay from Paradise of Pages on Instagram and welcome to a new video. Today I will share with you the books that I've read in October. As you can see, I am still alone. Femke is at her parents' place and I am not, so we are filming apart. Hence why I'm showing you the books that I've read this month. The first book that I've read is actually the third book in a series. And that book is Escaping from Houdini by Cara Maniscalco, which is the third book in the Stalking Jack the Ripper series. I really enjoyed this book. It is a murder mystery detective kind of book, and considering the autumn vibes are finally coming in, this is the perfect book for this season, and I thought it would be the perfect book for this month. Beside that, it also came out that month and it was one of my most anticipated reads, so I am so excited that I finally read it. I really enjoyed it and I think that it is a great addition to the series. However, I do prefer Hunting Prince Dracula and Stalking Jack the Ripper to this third book, mainly because there are some things in this book that I was not the biggest fan of. I won't spoil or anything, but that's my personal opinion. I still gave this book 5 out of 5 stars though, because it was absolutely brilliant and I loved the ending of it. I cannot wait for the fourth book, which I think will also be the last book, which I'm quite sad about. But yeah, I have something to look forward to next year. So that was a very good first read for this month. The next few books that I'll be mentioning are rereads, and those are The Selection, The Elite, and The One by Kiera Cass. I have read these books before, as I mentioned, which makes it a reread, obviously. I've read them a few years ago and they are just so incredibly cute. So I wanted to reread them, get myself out of the reading slump that I sort of slipped myself into, which sort of worked, but not really. I didn't change my rating for these. I gave them 5 out of 5 stars, all 3 of them, because that's what I did the first time around, and I didn't want to change my rating because I am now more an advanced reader than I was back then, and I absolutely love them, so it was only fair that I left them at 5 stars. I do have to say that I really enjoy these 3. I do have to say that The Elite is my least out of all of them. And I'm only talking about the original trilogy because The Heir and the Crown are just not my thing, so I will not be rereading those. These are just better to me, and I really enjoyed rereading them this month. The next book... I'm being attacked by bugs! Let's hope they stay put now. What I wanted to say was that the next book that I've read was also a sequel, and that was the second book in a duology, and that is Bright Burns the Night by Sarah B. Larson, if I'm correct. I'm holding up the first book, which is Dark Breaks the Dawn. I do have to say that I did not like it at all. I gave it 1.5 stars, and it was just so cliche. It was so rushed. The characters turned into mushy lovebirds. Everything was all good in the end, and I need a little bit of action that goes wrong. It was just a little bit too much for me, and I think I would have enjoyed this more if I were younger. But the fact that I'm 21, I just did not connect to these books. The first one I still enjoyed, hence why I picked up the second book. But it did not tickle my fancy at all, and I don't think I can recommend it unless you have a little sister who's getting into reading, then perhaps she'll love this. I do like the premise of it, I do like the plot of it, but other than that, I was not a big fan. The next book was a definite hit, and that is The Arc That I Received. Maybe you already know what I'm talking about. And that is Evenfall by Gaia J. Koss and Boris Koss. I have received this arc in exchange for an honest review, and I can tell you that it was absolutely brilliant. I gave it 5 out of 5 stars, and it was just really good. I loved the characters, I loved the plot, I loved the way that the world was built, I loved the main character. The side characters are just as interesting, and what I also really liked is that there is so much struggle in this one with, who you are as a person, who you are in yourself, and she struggles with her magic as well, and with her being the savior because she doesn't really want to be a savior. If you don't know what this book is about, please head over to Goodreads and read the synopsis there, because I will fail, probably. Another review for this is coming up, so a bigger one, in which I'll talk more about the plot in a non-spoilery way. So heads up for that one. All I can say is that I really enjoyed it, and how beautiful is the cover. I loved it, and yeah, I can really, really recommend you picking up this book. The next book that I have read is a reread, and that is Even the Darkest Stars by Heather Fawcett. The second book is coming out soon, either the end of this month or the beginning of December, and I'm so excited! I absolutely love this book. Gave it 5 out of 5 stars the first time around, and spoiler alert, gave it 5 out of 5 stars second time around, which is now. I just absolutely love the characters. They're all so interesting. The way that the plot is made, the plot points that are made, the plot twists as well, they were so good. And I really, really, really enjoyed it, and I just have a lot of good words when it comes to this book. I cannot wait for All the Wandering Light, which is the second one, but also the last one, because this is a duology. And I just love the characters. Kamzin and River, the two main characters, are my babies. And there's a fox in this one called Ragtooth. I just love it when animals are incorporated as familiars, and I just really, really enjoyed it. And it really surprised me the first time, because I had anticipated to like it. I just never thought I would love it as much as I do. And I can only say that you should give it a try. You really should give it a try. It's amazing. The next book that I will be mentioning, and also the semi-to-last book, I think, because the month's not completely over yet while I'm filming this, is These Rebel Waves by Sarah Roche. This was a Fairy Loot box for August, I think, or September. One or the other. And I have to say that the beginning of this was not amazing. I really, really didn't like it when I was about 100 pages done. But I did push through because one of the characters in here, Devereaux, really piqued my interest, and he's this character that's basically a sassy bastard, and that is exactly what I like in a character, which is the reason why it pushed through. And I have to say that the ending was really, really good. So the plot twists that are incorporated in the end of the story are really, really good, and I really, really enjoyed that. Hence why I gave this book 3.5 stars. I really, really enjoyed it, and I am looking forward to the next book. I hope that this fits. I need one more book. We'll just incorporate it somewhere. That's fine. The last book that I'll be mentioning is one that I'm still reading, but considering it is not November yet when I'm filming this, I'll be mentioning it anyway because I think I can finish this before the month is over. And that is Truth Witch by Susan Dennard, or Susan Dennard, or I hope I'm pronouncing that right. This is basically about two witches. One is a truth witch and the other is a thread witch. The truth witch, Safi, she is quite important considering most of the truth witches that once lived are either killed or used for political ends, and considering they haven't seen a truth witch in years, she has to hide her powers. And this is sort of where the story takes off. I really, really enjoy the sisterly bond between the two, even though they're not sisters. And I like the action in this one. As I said, I'm not done with this just yet, so I'll have to see how many stars I will give this, so I can't give you a review for it just yet. But I'll probably tell you that in either my vlog or you can see it on Goodreads. The link for my Goodreads is down below as well. So yeah, this is probably going to be my last read, and if not, it's going to be Wind Witch, which will be the second book in this series. These were all the books that I've read in the month of October. I think it is quite a few. I think it's a total of 9 books, so I am not too unhappy with this month. That said, this is also everything for this video, so I want to thank you for watching. You can subscribe and press that little bell icon so you get post notifications every single time that we post. Please comment down below the books that you've read in the month of October. You can give us a thumbs up, and with that I will say that I will see you guys the next time. Bye!